From the 1300s to 1521, the Aztecs have been the dominant civilization in Mesoamerica. And even to this day, the Aztecs are a mysterious civilization that on the one side were characterized as extremely intelligent, especially in mathematics and architecture. And on the other side, they worshipped a variety of angry gods and sacrificed humans routinely in cruel rituals to them. That's why today we dive deep into the unspeakable practices of the horrifying Aztec death cults. Now, to understand these sacrifices, we need to take a look at the beliefs of the Aztecs because religion was the lifeblood of their society and was deeply involved in every facet of their life, especially their understanding of the cosmos, their social and political structures, their day-to-day activities, and indeed their sense of identity was influenced by their religion. Now, the Aztecs had a very different understanding of religion and God than we do today. Imagine a world where the gods were not distant figures but were taking an active part, influencing every sunrise, rainfall, and harvest. The Aztecs saw their gods in the skies, in the earth, and in the waters around them, living in a universe that was teeming with divine energy. For example, they believed in a daily battle between Huitzilopochtli, the sun god, and the forces of darkness. Every sunrise was a victorious emergence, a triumph earned through their offerings and rituals. These sacrifices were not acts of blind faith. Instead, they were offerings of life energy, of vital nourishment for their god, supporting the cycle of day and night. But it also manifested in their social and political structures. Each of their rulers was considered a representative of the gods, and you could compare it to the Pope in the Christian religion. Another example would be the festivals that were also a big deal for the Aztecs. They would celebrate different gods with music, dance, and food. Through these celebrations, they made their lives a continuous tribute to the gods. Knowing this, you can probably tell that they also worship the gods of the dead, so let's shift our focus to a more specific and more mysterious aspect of the Aztec culture, which are the Aztec death cults. For many of us, the concept of death sounds scary as nobody knows what happens afterwards. But for the Aztecs, death was not an end. Instead, it was a significant part of a continuous cycle of life, a journey into another realm of existence. You can imagine it as life and death being like the two sides of the same coin. While life was seen as a gift from the gods, death was seen as a passage to serve the gods in a different way. And this belief led to practices that today are extremely shocking to us, so let's take a look at these unique rituals and more importantly, the role the ritual sacrifices had. But the most important question before we take a look at the cruel way on how people were sacrificed, we need to take a look at why they even did this, because from our modern standpoint, no religion would be happy if we started sacrificing people. It's hard to pinpoint one exact reason because the Aztec civilization had their downfall due to the Spanish conquest in 1521. However, from what we know, the main reason was a sacrifice to their gods, and it was seen as a kind of repayment. They believed these sacrifices provided the necessary life energy, or tonali, to sustain the gods in the universe. In essence, these sacrifices were seen as a crucial duty, a way to maintain the balance of life and ensure the sun's daily journey across the sky. And while appeasing and sustaining the gods was a primary reason, human sacrifices also had other important roles in the Aztec society. For one, they were a demonstration of power and a deterrent for rival states. Witnessing the sheer scale and ritualistic precision of these ceremonies would have been a powerful psychological tool, inducing both awe and fear. But how exactly did these rituals look like? How often did they do it, and how were people chosen that were sacrificed? Now, these sacrifices were carried out on various occasions, typically during significant religious ceremonies or festivals dedicated to their gods. The most notable among these was the Feast of Tlacaxepehualistli, where dozens, even hundreds, were sacrificed. Now, the selection of those to be sacrificed varied. Captives from wars known as Ixiptla were a common choice as their sacrifice symbolized the repayment of a life debt to the gods. In other cases, individuals were chosen from within the Aztec community. Often these were people who symbolically embodied the god being venerated, living as a representation of that god before their sacrificial destiny. The Aztecs had a detailed way of performing human sacrifices. It would start with a person being led up the Grand Templo Mayor, a huge pyramid in the Aztec capital, Tenochtitlan. This person, guided by a high-ranking priest, would walk up the steps while a crowd watched. This walk was like a journey from the normal world to the world of the gods. At the top of the pyramid, the person to be sacrificed would be laid on a special stone that was only used for this purpose. As they lay there, they would look up at the open sky one last time. Maybe they would even see the graceful flight of eagles, a bird that was very special to the Aztecs. In the hands of the priest, a special knife would then be revealed. This knife wasn't made of any ordinary material. Instead, it was made from obsidian, a black, glassy stone that comes from volcanoes and can be sharpened to a very fine point. The sight of this shiny, sharp knife under the bright sunlight let everyone know that the most important part of the ceremony was about to happen. The priest, a person of high respect and power in Aztec society, would then perform the shocking part of the ceremony. He would use the knife to open the chest of the person lying on the stone. This act would cause a wave of silence to spread through the crowd as they recognized the gravity of this moment. The priest would then reach into the opening and take out the heart, which would still be beating. In the complete silence, the priest would raise this heart up to the sky. For the Aztecs, this was a very special moment. They believed that this beating heart was a precious gift for their gods, a symbol of their deep respect and dedication. As the priest held the heart aloft, the only sound breaking the silence would be the rhythm of drums, filling the air with a beat that echoed the heartbeat of the sacrificed. This moment, both terrifying and filled with respect, was a clear picture of the Aztecs' strong belief in the circle of life and death and the journey that connected them. After the intense moment of the heart held high, the ritual would continue with a sense of purpose and reverence. The body of the sacrificed individual, now lifeless, would be carefully taken down from the stone altar. If the person that was just sacrificed was caught in battle, the body would now be given to the warrior that captured the person. The warrior would carry the body away, performing their role in the ritual. The Aztecs believed that the spirit of the sacrificed person would accompany the warrior, serving as a protective force in future battles or endeavors. However, the body wasn't always given to the warrior. They also had festivals where they then ate the human flesh. See, after the heart was removed during a sacrifice, the body of the person who was sacrificed would be prepared for consumption. Certain people, like priests and warriors, would eat the flesh. They believed that by eating it, they would connect with the divine and absorb the special power of the person who was sacrificed. The distribution and eating of the flesh were done with great care and meaning. It was not random or done for pleasure. Only specific people were chosen to participate. They saw it as a way to become closer to the gods and take on the qualities and strengths of the person who was sacrificed. The Aztecs believed that by eating the flesh, they were taking in the spiritual energy of the person who was sacrificed. It was like a sacred act, bringing together the physical world and the spiritual world. These cannibalism rituals were not done without thought or respect. They were part of important religious ceremonies and were seen as a way to honor the gods. Chants, prayers, and other rituals were performed alongside the eating of the flesh. It was a way to show their devotion and commitment to their beliefs. Now, please don't get this wrong. Cannibalism was not a common practice in their everyday life, and it only happened occasionally. And also, keep in mind that the practice extended just beyond human sacrifices for the Aztecs. In normal cases, they also conducted elaborate funerary rites for their deceased, believing that the nature of one's death determined their afterlife. These rituals were just as important in maintaining cosmic order and nourishing the gods. Our understanding of Aztec practices, including cannibalism rituals, comes from historical accounts and archaeological discoveries. Spanish explorers like Hernán Cortés wrote about the ceremonies and described the Aztecs' sacrificial traditions, and he described it as deeply shocking and disturbing when he began the conquest. Another source we have are Aztec pictorial manuscripts, known as codices, show us pictures of their rituals. Archaeologists have also found evidence, like altars and offerings, that reveal more about their practices. By combining these sources, researchers have learned about the Aztecs' complex religious customs, including their belief in human sacrifices and cannibalism. Exploring these historical records allows us to gain insights into the fascinating world of Aztec spirituality and cultural traditions. As we conclude our exploration of the Aztec practices and rituals, we come away with a deeper understanding of their complex religious beliefs and cultural traditions. The Aztecs' sacrificial ceremonies, including the shocking ritual of cannibalism, may appear perplexing and unfamiliar from our modern perspective. However, it is crucial to approach these practices with cultural sensitivity, recognizing their significance within the Aztec worldview. The Aztecs, driven by their deeply ingrained spiritual devotion, sought to maintain a harmonious relationship with the divine, viewing sacrifices as offerings of profound reverence and dedication. By delving into the historical accounts, indigenous codices, and archaeological discoveries, we uncover the vibrant tapestry of Aztec spirituality and gain insights into the intricate fabric of their civilization. Through this lens, we embrace the opportunity to appreciate the diversity and complexity of human cultural expression throughout history. With that being said, thanks for watching, and until next time.